Both Bobby and I are former classroom teachers and have facilitated digital citizenship activities at some point in our careers. So we're going to just set up the activities with a quick discussion of why we feel it's important, and also, would love to know, again, as we talk through that, your opinions on that topic as well. Then we're going to get into the product and share some activities that you can facilitate with your students. Really quick, really easy activities that you can do in one class period over one day during Digital Citizenship Week to promote those essential skills. We're going to talk about quick recording assignments in our new class feed feature. And we're also going to talk about our Digital Citizen Superheroes assignment idea project, which is a really fun and creative way to have students teach others about what it means to be a digital citizen. And then we've got a ton of resources to share with you, both from the WeVideo side, but also some of our partners and others whom we really value, and whose well we go to often to share and build our own activities for you, our subscribers to WeVideo. So with that, let's dive in. So what is digital citizenship? And I'm going to have a discussion with Bobby just kind of about his perspective here, because there's a lot of information, and it has grown significantly in the last decade as kids and students continue to access and be more digital, of what those practices or those elements are of digital citizenship. I know, just a quick anecdote from back when I started teaching all the way back in 2010, we weren't using technology maybe as much as we are today. And digital citizenship was, it was a topic and an issue and something to be taught, but it wasn't as developed, right? There wasn't as much curriculum or instruction around the practices of digital citizenship. So, I remember just being very focused on getting kids, and I taught elementary school. So it was really about how we're using our Chromebooks in the classroom, how we're using technology to help us learn more. And it was really more about the digital access and digital literacy, more than anything else, maybe even more than things like digital etiquette or digital responsibility or your digital footprint, because we wasn't so concerned back then in terms of with elementary students about those topics. But as you see an increasing digital world and students younger and younger having access to online spaces, those topics have become increasingly more important. So Bobby, I asked you that same question, kind of when you were teaching, what was top of mind for you? What does digital citizenship mean, to you? What are some of the ways that you were able to facilitate that in your classrooms?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a classroom teacher, the majority of that time, I was in like an elective type class where it was primarily project-based learning, using the WeVideo multimedia creation tool. But we did, video game design and video design and website design. So in that sort of format, I provided students with resources about digital citizenship, like the common sense resources that we'll talk about today, and some others, but then sort of forcing students to think about how the information I was providing to them, or that we explored together, how it resonated with them or how they could reflect upon it. I think, I left the classroom about 3 years ago. So I know someone in the chat mentioned about AI. Obviously, that has to become a big part of the digital citizenship conversation. But I guess even more important than that is security and safety. I know, both of us have elementary school kids, and so we want to make sure that that our kids are safe, obviously. But once they begin participating in these types of activities, we want them to be responsible. So those are just some of the things, but I would just say that digital citizenship is important to be discussed in schools, and if anything, more and more should be emphasized, I think.
Yeah, and I know we're doing this again, like I said at the top, ahead of Digital Citizenship Week, which is 1 week in October every year. But really, this is not; these skills should be taught and facilitated and integrated into any curriculum in which technology is being used, or to facilitate activities, or or whatever else, or however else it is being used in the context of the classroom or learning in general. I think back to my time in the classroom, we didn't have AI really. I mean, very, very little of it, if any. And I left the formal classroom in 2015 and was in after school until 2019, and we still weren't seeing a lot of programs that were heavily making use of AI. That's only been, we've seen the advent of that in the last 5 years accelerate like crazy. So that is a huge call out there, because that is something that I think we're still catching up to, right? The responsibility and the use of AI, which is an incredibly, top of mind for almost every educator out there today. And that kind of harkens back for me. A lot of my study in the after school world, when we were developing digital curriculum, was around media literacy, right? And understanding how to interact with and analyze media that's being communicated to us in a digital way. Which again, you layer the AI component on top of that, and that makes it that much more important to dig in really to that element of digital citizenship, which is that digital literacy, that media literacy piece, analyzing and making media to understand how you can communicate yourself to others and how others are communicating to you. So that's that. Those are some resources we're going to share, and that's some of the projects we're going to dive into, that you can help your students learn a little bit about digital citizenship and share what they know about it through fun video projects. So let's dive into that. We're gonna show you 2 projects today. We've got the next 15 or so minutes to dive into the product, to show you some quick recording assignments that you can facilitate with students. And then again, like I said, that digital citizen superheroes project from WeVideo's assignment ideas library that you can access next week as well. All right, Bobby, you ready to dive into the product to show the quick recording assignment?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I would imagine at least some of the folks on the webinar with us today have heard about quick recording and class feed, but quick recording is a new assignment type, and class feed is I always call it a mechanism, a new feature that allows the sharing of projects, whether they're quick recordings, which you can sort of think of as simple like selfie videos, right? But class feed, as you'll see a little bit later, can also be utilized for the multimedia creation projects that any WeVideo user knows and loves. So this first one, I mentioned before just a little bit about Common Sense Media, but that was a great resource that I used in the classroom. I continue to use it, here at WeVideo. I use it as a parent as well. So we have no affiliation that I know of with Common Sense, but great organization in terms of digital citizenship, and they do a great job supporting educators. So, we took a look at this digital drama lesson that Common Sense Media has, took a couple of their resources. I won't open it right now, but this is a link to a video that the students would watch. This is a Google Doc that they provide with the lesson. And so what has been pushed out to the students is a quick recording assigned to students individually, and they're going to respond in 1 minute or less using their webcam. And that is a quick recording, which again is the newest assignment type within WeVideo. So what's great about this, and resonates with me a lot in terms of digital citizenship, and as a former middle school teacher, ability of teachers to moderate student videos, right? So they're not just shared with the entire class automatically. So I've gone through here and I've moderated these videos. If we look at the class feed, this is the view, the nice grid view, if you will, with the student selfie videos. They're only posted here again because I've set them as visible, so the teacher would moderate these. And you'll notice that these are just, unpolished reflection videos, right? Awesome for exit tickets, or as we'll see in a second, this digital citizenship lesson can be used for all different sorts of things. Great for community building and those types of activities. Students could share their latest draft of their writing piece, or really so many other applications. I think there's kind of a beauty in the unpolished part of this, going back to the AI conversation, right? Sort of forcing students to talk about their work, right? They can't upload a video or really do anything else other than talking to the camera. So I think that this is a really valuable resource for teachers. So if we go into these reflection videos, we recently added the ability of both teachers and students to comment. I'm the teacher right here, and I sent a private comment to Toby. Nice work, very insightful. Peter is a student, and his comment is pending, right? So Peter said, "I love how you said get a trusted adult. That's smart." So I could make that visible. So let's just watch a couple of these, and then I'll show you a little bit more about the moderation. But we, when we first started talking about this feature at WeVideo, we were talking about video-based discussions. And this is really a perfect opportunity for students to digitally discuss topics like this. And if you think of it kind of like a walled garden, right? Giving the students an actual experience of doing the type of things that they might be doing on their personal devices, but obviously within a safe, moderated environment. I think it's really important for students to be able to practice that.
And two people are fighting or arguing online or in a game, something that I could do if I was in their situation is that I would go off the game. I would block their account, or I would tell a trusted parent or guardian.
Right, so that's one example. Again, as the teacher, I can go through and moderate these. Students have a very similar process once their classmates' videos have been approved. As you can see on this one, a bunch of additional comments. Again, I have the ability as the teacher to make those visible, or if it's an inappropriate or ineffective comment, right, I could just leave it as pending approval, or I can make it hidden. So, definitely when we released this moderation, definitely really hit home for me personally, because I've been there as a teacher before.
Totally. And also just to point out before you play this video, right? Like these are also ways to teach digital citizenship built into this feature of our tool, right? Commenting, practicing digital etiquette, like you saw in the prompt, right? Those are things that you obviously going to want to tee up as a classroom teacher and create that classroom culture and environment where you're not really worried about having to moderate comments because there's already a baseline understanding of the etiquette in which you're going to operate under when you're interacting with when students are interacting with their peers. But obviously, as Bobby said, and I've been through this too, like moderation is important, even if you've set that groundwork and have that classroom culture in place. But this is a great opportunity, again, to practice digital citizenship, practice being online in a very digital way that goes beyond maybe just an in-person or traditional classroom discussion.
Yeah, and some of these students in these examples talk about digital footprint, right? They're well aware of, the tendency of people, whether they're celebrities or their classmates or whoever, to make a mistake online. And it's not just as simple as pressing delete, because before you delete it, it's someone screenshotted it, right? Really good opportunity for students to practice this type of stuff. Again, with the mentorship of their teachers.
And Bobby, a quick question that came in from Liliana. For the student videos, do students have the opportunity to blur the background or select a virtual background in the app?
Great question. Not currently with quick recordings. However, as we'll show in a moment, teachers always have the option to assign these as multimedia creation projects as well. So if you wanted to provide your students with those additional tools, it's just as simple as using class feed with multimedia creation. So I personally love that you have both of those features available, because, you know, when I was using WeVideo, it was oftentimes a project-based classroom, and this also can serve as a student showcase. And like you said, if you want access to those additional features, they're still there, just in multimedia creation. Just going to play this video, and then I want to transition to our digital citizen superhero project.
I think when people are arguing on the internet, they tend to say things they wouldn't normally say to someone's face because it's easier to hide behind a screen or like create this fake persona. And that can lead to bad things because there's a lot of information on the internet. And so the best thing you can do when you're arguing with someone is, like, if it's getting too heated or the fight's getting too big, the best thing you can do is just turn off your device and go do something else more productive.
Love that. And I did also want to add that sometimes I think that the concept of digital citizenship is dedicated to library media specialists or broadcasting classes or electives like mine. It's really something that should be discussed in all content areas, right? I mean, easy connections to language arts and social studies in terms of, you know, fake news and as you alluded to before, deep fakes and those types of things. So I think it's really, there are facets of digital citizenship that can be easily incorporated in any content area. So I want to transition to our assignment ideas library and our digital citizenship superhero assignment. So if you're not already familiar with the assignment ideas library, we have hundreds available in here at this point. Yep, 133. That's a lot. All different content areas. Obviously, you can still content areas and grade levels. You can obviously continue to search by keyword too. And here is our digital citizenship superhero assignment idea. I know that you played a part in this, Ryan. Did you want to add anything about this project?
No, it was created as we headed into the fall a couple years ago, because we knew we were going to be hitting on this topic. We wanted to provide sort of content agnostic content area agnostic activities, meaning this could apply, like you said previously, to core content areas and not just to the library or media arts, right? And provide a creative way for students to share what they know about a topic like digital citizenship with others in a really creative and fun way. I mean, what kid doesn't like to imagine themselves as a superhero? And this time, your superpowers is something to do with digital citizenship. So I think the example is like the media literacy wizard, where they're able to decipher content and know how to understand how to analyze it. And what that means, right? And why it's important. So a really cool activity. We've got a couple of other digital citizen activities too in the library. I believe there's a digital portfolio assignment. There's just a digital citizenship video, more general assignment than this, among others. So take a look in the library. But this is the one we were focused on today because, like I said, these activities are meant to be facilitated over one class period or one class day, or maybe two. So you can do them in the week that's set aside for digital citizenship.
Yep, and this one is super user friendly, right? This is a GIF, right, which definitely isn't as popular in terms of usage as full-fledged videos. However, what's nice is that it does sort of limit it to 45 seconds, right? So student is given a little bit of a limit in terms of what they're creating. And that combined with the starting blocks that they get in here and, all the other features that are packed into WeVideo just makes it really easy I think, for teachers to take the project and have something impactful while not having to dedicate so many classes, you know. And also what's really nice is that they are given all of these great assets that are not part of the project, right? So very easy to swap these out, which is really great. So if we go back to our classes, right? So just like the quick recording assignment, I've assigned this Digital Citizen Superheroes GIF. And what's great is that it's very, very similar in terms of workflow to the quick recording that you all saw before. Class feed is also turned on for this, which is awesome. You see by the thumbnails that these are now not selfie videos, but they're, fully flushed out projects. Again, they're GIFs that are 45 seconds or less, and pretty cool to be able to take a template and have students go in. They can utilize research, they can utilize their, obviously their creativity with something like this, and take it and make something pretty powerful. So here we
media literacy wizard.
Yep. So here's kind of our example. Just like before, these are not going to be visible to the rest of the class until I, as the teacher, go through and make them visible or approve them. Same thing with the comments, right? So all the practice and valuable life skills, really, that students, we know that they're participating in at home or on their phones or on their iPads. They get a chance to do that here. And like you mentioned, Ryan, it's good to have that moderation, but also good for students to practice in a space that is a little bit less, less serious, or has the volume turned down just a bit.
Right.
Yeah. So can go through here, right? I can moderate all of these, just like I did for the previous assignment. Can click on these, watch the students' GIFs. I can leave comments as the teacher, right? I can go in and put great job or anything else. I get to determine, do I want that to be a private comment just between the student and me? Obviously, that would be really helpful if I'm saying, hey, can you go unsubmit and continue working on that, or make any edits, something like that. Or I can just make it public so that that student and the rest of the class can see.
And we have a quick question from Ashley. Maybe we can demo this about changing the assignment type. So yes, GIFs don't have sound, right? They're not going to export any audio. It's just going to be visuals. But there is a way to change the assignment type. So if you save an assignment idea to your class as a draft, you have the ability to edit that assignment idea before assigning it to students. So Bobby is going to go through that workflow now. He was in the library saving to his class as a draft. Once he gets into this class, the assignment will be in a drafted state. And then what you can do there is click edit, scroll down to the project type and change it from there. So you can change it to whatever project type you'd like. We've got video, of course, that's your standard multimedia creation video, GIF, podcast, which is an MP3 format, audio only as opposed to visual only with GIFs. And then storyboard, which is our simplified editor, which is our dual track pared down editing experience for younger students.
Yep. Great for, lower elementary, K3. Yep. Very easy to tweak this, right? The term that I always use for the assignment ideas library is remixing. The system kind of forces you to. super easy to, use it as is. You can also find something like that digital citizen superheroes, right? This is originally a GIF, but if I want it to be a full-fledged video instead, just as simple as going into the draft and changing it.
Yeah, we make these lessons as turnkey or as editable and flexible as you need them to be. So you can assign it as is, or you can completely modify it. And that includes designing and attaching your own sample video, creating your own starting blocks, changing the instructions, enabling or disabling class feed. It's kind of however you're seeking to facilitate this activity through the assignment idea. It really just provides you the inspiration, the template that you might need to get started in designing an activity or selecting an activity. As in this case, right, we've got this great digital citizen superhero project. If you wanted to modify it for your learners in high school, great. You can differentiate it for lower elementary school students. So we provide that flexibility in order to make it possible for you to adapt this to any learner.
Yep. 100%. And like we mentioned before, you can create assignments now as quick recordings or multimedia creation. So if there are features of multimedia creation that you want students to have access to in an assignment, it's just as simple as assigning it as multimedia creation instead of quick recording.
Yeah, and to that point, we were talking about our quick recording assignment earlier, our using the digital drama lesson from Common Sense Media. That could be, it doesn't have to be a quick recording assignment. It could be a video, and then you wouldn't necessarily have to have the students use the webcam to record. They could create a series of images from the stock media library and then narrate over that. They could do a screencast. It's more varied. If that's the direction you choose to go. The quick recording is like we were talking about. It's great for that authentic response and the peer and video-based discussions. But if the background issue is of concern, you can facilitate that project in many different ways.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. And we're able to adjust the .gif timing. You can do up to 45 seconds of media. So it's anywhere within that time frame. It just can't be. It won't allow you to export it as a GIF if there's media on the timeline that's past that 45-second marker. And on the GIF project timeline, when you open the editor, you should see there's a marker at 45 seconds that provides you that visual guide to know that you're not able to go past that if you're going to export it as a GIF. Or is our faces blocking that marker?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. I love this. Keegan's comment about assignment ideas, excited about the digital citizenship which district is trying to tackle, and for other subjects as well. Yes, the assignment ideas library has a ton of content related to and unrelated to digital citizenship. So please keep searching, taking a look. We've got 100, like Bobby said, 133 assignments, which I was part of this project when it was being released. And I think we started in 2023 with 20 initial projects, and now we're up to 133. So kudos to the team for pumping those out as they did. And yeah, please dig in. It's a great resource for you and your students.
Yeah. And there are 133, but I've gone through a lot of them. They're, again, very easy to repurpose, right? The fact that there's so much great content within them, very easy to tweak the directions, tweak the standards. It could very easily take a science lesson that you like and turn it into an ELA lesson, right? There's so much in there that there's just a lot to work with, which is very, very helpful.
Absolutely. And so we're just about ready to wrap up here. Bobby, did you have any final remarks on the activities?
No, I didn't. I just re-emphasize what I mentioned before. Digital citizenship is incredibly important. Obviously, cell phone bans and those types of things are trending across the country. Whether students are using their cell phones in schools or not, we know that they're using personal devices. And so I think it's part of our responsibility as parents, as teachers, to try to guide children the best that we can,
Yeah,
to make good decisions. And fortunately, WeVideo is a platform that students love. And so if you can incorporate it in digital citizenship projects and lessons, they're that much more likely to listen to the wise words that you're trying to impart to them.
100%. Well said, Bobby. A quick question from Ashley. Can you provide videos for students without giving them access to searching for videos to save time for the little guys? So there's no way to disable the stock media library if that's what you're referring to, but you as a teacher can certainly pre-populate the media bin. We didn't show that today through the workflows that Bobby was demoing, but as you're building your assignment for your students, you can add video content to their project bin. And so when they access the editor, whether that's to make a GIF or a video or a podcast, they'll have access to the media that you've already selected for them from the stock media library. And then it would just be a matter of, instructing that they don't need to search for media. The media is already provided for them. If that answers your question.
Yeah, the digital citizenship superhero project had those videos built into the assignment idea. A teacher can keep those, add to them, take away from them. It doesn't stop the students from using the stock media library, but it has all of sort of the recommended video, audio, and image content there. So just to make it more user-friendly.
Yeah. So just real quick as we wrap up, we have a few resources that I know I draw on, and as Bobby said, he is drawn on, and I've used in my time as a teacher and an after-school instructor, as well as used a lot of these resources in our professional development training for our customers, in our assignment ideas. So these are tried and true partners and organizations that I really feel like teach digital citizenship skills well, among other things, of course. Common Sense Media, Bobby built the digital drama assignment from that Common Sense Media's digital citizenship curriculum. They have a K-8 curriculum that teaches essential skills in digital citizenship. So please check that out. KQED, which is a Northern California PBS affiliate who we are partners with here at WeVideo, provides a ton of information on digital literacy and media literacy. Dr. Renee Hobbs out of the University of Rhode Island has a media education lab, which is an incredible resource for any educator looking to teach about media education. Obviously, media plays a huge role in all of our lives, and it is crucial to provide resources about how to instruct in that area for students. And then there is also a really cool propaganda studies lab that Dr. Hobbs runs as well, called Mind Over Media. This is ways to instruct students on how to analyze pieces of propaganda. And it's really fascinating. And it all feeds into the idea that as we access more and more digital spaces as people, that as Bobby said earlier, it's our responsibility to teach the skills necessary and required of our youth to be able to be engaging in digital conversations in a positive way, and really learning and understanding how to exist in the digital world that is only going to get increasingly more digital for everyone. So with that being said, please check these resources out, build them in where you can in your context, and really thank you for doing your part in instructing our youth in how to become positive digital citizens. And then just real quick, we've got some specific WeVideo resources. If you're new to the product or if you're instructing your students on how to use the product in any way, we've got a ton of video tutorials that you can access in our onboarding hub through our academy. If you're looking for the technical know-how about how to use our tool in the classroom. again, the WeVideo Academy. This is kind of different ways of engaging you and your students with our product. And then upcoming events, please join us again, wevideo.com/events to sign up for more webinars. We've got a ton more planned this month and next month and on into the next calendar year. So we hope to see you back here for another webinar. And with that, it is time to select our winner for the swag box. Bobby, do you have a winner for us?
Belinda Ottaway. Congratulations.
Hey, right. Belinda, congrats. You are the proud winner of a WeVideo swag box today. We will let our wonderful events manager, Kelsey Garcia, know about your win. But we also encourage you to email her, Kelsey Garcia at wevideo.com to claim your prize, and she will send that out to you. Congrats, Belinda. Thank you for your participation, all your questions today. Thank you to the rest of the audience for attending this webinar. I love talking about this topic. I hope you learned something. I definitely learned something, as I do every time. Bobby, thank you for your awesome demos, and we'll do it again soon.
Thanks for having me on, Ryan.
Take care, everybody. Thank you for viewing. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, happy creating, everybody. Bye now.